100,000 displaced and other 63,000 into other neighboring countries like Nigeria seeking refuge. How do we get to this level?
I'm not very privy to those figures, but I want to say that I've been peace crusading for at least 29, 30 years. And so I know what peace crusading is all about. You'll agree with me that an environment where you don't see, you don't touch, you don't feel the core moral values that make for a sane, a serene, a harmonious society, core moral values that I have always espoused: love, justice, equity, transparency, accountability, integrity, dignity, the truth, the fear of the Lord, which is the beginning of wisdom, patriotism. These core moral values, if they are in the society, they build what we call good governance, best practices, norms of society. Take away these core moral values, what weighs in is bad governance. And when you have bad governance, you have chaos, you have anarchy, you have conflict, you have even wars. Because what does bad governance do? It doesn't create an enabling environment for growth, for the exploitation of the resources that a nation has been blessed with for the good of the people. Because a few people take those resources hostage to the detriment of millions and millions and millions of the people. And what does that build? It builds frustration. It builds unemployment. It builds anger. It builds resentment. It even provokes the people to react. And so that is it. When you don't have an enabling environment, a conducive environment for the people to live their lives, free lives as God has provided, and talking about our own environment, it is richly blessed with resources.
And that explains why we are fighting the resources.
No, but I'm saying that bitterness, tribalism, nepotism, embezzlement, looting and plundering, bribery, misappropriation, witch hunting, inordinate and vaulting quests for power, positions, unbridled quest for wealth, to the detriment of others, creates an environment that is not conducive for peace to take its seat, to take root. That is the situation. And I'm saying that if the good governance were thoroughly, properly practiced in our environment, you will not be talking of, because everybody will have his own share of what God has blessed us with. That is it. If you are saying the other things, it means therefore that we are benefiting from the corrupt nature, and then you want to tell the truth.
Can there be peace without justice, Tumfo?
But I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Good governance is justice. And when there is justice, there is peace. From love, you have justice. From justice, equity, and the rest of those core moral values that I just named here. You can't have peace anywhere in the world. Even in your house, Kingsley, If you discriminate against, if you have 4 children, I don't know how many you have, and you discriminate against one, you have put a knife in your family because the child discriminated against
will rise up one day
against you. So never you do that. Treat all your children equally, equitably. Place them on a platform of equality. If you don't want to talk about equality, talk about equity. So that is my take. So in the absence of those core moral values that I have espoused over the 28 years, 29 years, but my peace crusading is not just blah, 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 talking peace. I first talk about love and justice. Because without love, justice, equity, transparency, accountability, patriotism, you cannot have peace. So if we have 2 bottles of Tangi here, and equally takes 2 because I'm a grandfriend, you might permit it, you might tolerate that for the first time. The second time, the third time, you're back on the wall. You want to get, why are you getting each time depriving me of my own right? That is the situation. But this emanates from what? Bad governance. Bad governance in the mentality, mindset, which is twisted, is self-centered, greedy. You're looking at yourself and that you can have everything. You're looking at yourself, everything should be around you, should revolve and devolve around you.
Ntumfo, many Cameroonians have accused you elites from the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon of maintaining sealed lips, especially those who are of the ruling CPDM and other top government functionaries, of not doing enough in contributing to the peace or return of peace in those 2 English-speaking regions of the country. You as an elite, do you regret being an elite from the northwest region?
Whether I like it or not,
or regret being a Cameroonian?
The building of a society is not an issue of a political party. It's an issue of the entire population, vertically and horizontally. So if it is not only about a political party, all political parties, including, those who are not in political. I belong to no political party. Not because there's anything wrong with belonging, but because I had already traced my own mission, my own area is peace crusading and fighting against corruption and moral decadence. I chose that. And I'm sure it's a blessing. It's a kind of mission in which I find myself dictated by God. So that is my own area. If you are waiting to be appointed by whoever to start working for your nation, you might never be appointed, and hence you will never work for your nation. So we talk about elite generally. I'm not going to focus on whether they come from X or Y. Can you name any political party that has anything to offer? What I want is working for the nation. What can you offer? You don't even need to be in a political party to build your nation. So don't cite political parties here. Tell me what elite are doing, what they have contributed. You've talked of Northwest and Southwest elite. Put your finger on one thing that they are put together in the Northwest or Southwest and it's like, what? I challenge you.
So the claim of the population is right. So they claim that you people from the Northwest and Southwest, you are not helping matters in resolving the crisis. It's true.
I hope we are not lumping all of us into one basket. Yeah, whether I like it or not, there are some elite who are doing that work behind the scenes. But my peace crusading is known nationwide and beyond. Nationwide and beyond. I've been into it. And to be very honest with you, that's why I stick to the truth. To the truth. Which some people will not like. Because we are so prone to lying, falsehood, hypocrisy, half-truths, falsehood. We are so prone to that. And that is part of bad governance. you know. So I'm asking, can you tell me what we, some elites, can you show? Like, let me tell you, let me just express an example. Noella died. Norway, Northwest Funds Association, of course, we merged it with conference to create Northwest Funds Union. But how powerful is it now? For about 12 years when I was there.
But what is happening now is constitutional. What is in place is as per the constitution and what
What I'm saying
emanated
is
from
that
the major national
it
dialogue.
hasn't the force. The Norway that they created died. Norway died. Norway's elite died. So what is left? I'm asking you, about the same thing in Southwest. I'm asking you a simple question. These are intelligent people.
But very
These are
intellectually
intelligent people, I know.
dishonest.
But the question you ask yourself, why is it that all these structures that were created for the emancipation of the people, for the good of the regions, who destroyed them? Only the elite. Some of us believe that unless if we are not part of a project, it should die.
And some of the ministers in this country, when this crisis started, they said there was no Anglophone crisis.
Yeah.
And even today, they are still saying so. Yeah. There is nothing. And those are the ministers coming from the part that is plagued with the conflict.
Well, you are saying what you are saying that you know. I am saying that it's a whole horizontal and vertical stench. It's vertical and horizontal. The bad governance is vertical and horizontal. All of us are involved in bad governance. Unless and until our mindset is turned around positively, our mentality changes, our very huge resources will mean nothing. You know, some of us, you and me, some of us, many people who call themselves lawyers, academicians, professors, doctors, engineers, architects, you ask them, what have you used all that book for? What have you used the book for? If we were going by the number of academia that we have in Cameroon, this nation would be an El Dorado. But we have academia devoid of those core moral values.
So
for the
Cameroon
most part,
has morally gone bankrupt.
Yes, let me use your term, morally bankrupt. Yes, so that I said that many times. So
what is the way forward? What is the way forward?
The way forward can only be creating the enabling environment, conducive environment, that going back to the drawing board and asking ourselves, what did we do wrong that we cannot use the God-given knowledge and wisdom and patriotism, if we ever had it, to build a beautiful nation like ours? A good number of, you have pockets of unemployment and poverty. It's true that the state is doing something in order to assuage the situation, to address the situation. But the situation still remains staring you and me in the face. It therefore means it requires a reawakening of our consciences and our love for our nation. That's why my own political party, if I were to create one, it would be peace, work, fatherland, the motto of our nation. And there is this stanza of our anthem that I love so much. Thy welfare will win in toil and love and peace. You see, peace is all over the place. It's in the motto, it's in our anthem. Without peace, no good thing can happen to a people. And you cannot have peace in hypocrisy, in falsehood, in lies telling, in looting and plundering. If you were to ask yourself what has caused all the pain, the frustration among people, it is tribalism, it is discrimination, it is xenophobia, it is all that regionalism, hate. So when you talk of hate speech, you ask yourself who is at the origin of hate speech? Hunger, joblessness. People are frustrated because you have discriminated.
But some of the people championing the ills you are talking about are well-to-do people.
Yeah, but
you see them, they are the ones that go on television, and what they say, you begin to ask yourself, are these really professors and doctors?
The things that people say on television, don't take that for the gospel. Don't take that for the gospel. Just take it because they're talking. Most of those, they go there to give the impression that they are working for the nation. Imagine somebody who has all along been embezzling and is known, who sends motions of support to the head of state, whereas the head of state in his messages condemns embezzlement and bribery and corruption. Is that a person you can count on? Those motions of support are not genuine. They are meant to cover up.
To corrupt the head of state.
Yes, no, to corrupt. They give an impression that they are supporting. But if you support the head of state, do not steal, don't embezzle, don't misappropriate, don't corrupt. But people, they say, very soon they will gather 1 or 2, 3 people and write motions of support. The head of state, I tell you, does not need motions of support. He needs people who will do the job. When the head of state appoints you, do the job, because he appoints you with the mandate of Cameroonians. They are vested in the head of state what we call sovereignty. And when he signs, it's Cameroonians that have signed. So you are answerable to Cameroonians. So when he appoints you, he wants to see you do the job. I'm not throwing flags on myself. When I was appointed into ONEL, National Elections Observatory, no motion of support. But you saw me on the field for 7 years. In the Northwest, there was no reruns, there was no conflict, there were no complaints, because I created a level ground, playing ground for all the players. All the rigging, we punctured all the rigging machinery that some of them were very sophisticated.
That's why some people are still very angry with you, even up to today.
Do I care? When people, if you stand for the truth, don't know that you create more enemies when you do it right. No, 2002 legislative and municipal elections, no problem in the Northwest. 2004 presidential elections, no problem. 2007 legislative and municipal, no problem. I did reruns in the West, I did reruns in Konsamba, I did reruns in Douala, because there was peace at the end of, because I said to myself, the head of state has appointed me, no motions of support. He will see my own motions in the quality of the work I'm doing. I am appointed to the national elections, to the Commission of Bilingualism. No motions of support. But I'm there saying what I think should be done for peace to return. Because the head of state appointed us, the 15 members.
Yes.
Against the backdrop.
Yes, talking about the Bilingualism Commission, that's exactly what I wanted to ask you. Many people regard the commission as useless, not doing anything. Somebody of this kind of reputation finding yourself in that kind of commission, are you not worried that you may, soil
I am ambivalent. Even if I'm worried, I can't leave the commission. I'm worried, definitely, what you're saying, because nearly 4 years, nearly 5 years now,
Do we really need a commission like that to solve the problem that we have in the Northwest and Southwest?
Still raging and escalating. I am talking for myself, Nico Halley. I'm not talking for the other members. I consider that I have not been able to live up to the expectations of Cameroonians because the crisis is still going on. And let me tell you, the head of state in his vision and his wisdom appointed from all the other regions 1 member each, but appointed for the Northwest 3 members and 3 from the Southwest. And then eventually appointed the president of that commission, an Anglophone, a former performant prime minister. And then appointed a secretary general from the Northwest. So the message is clear, was clear. Help me solve this problem.
Are you people helping the head of state to solve the problem?
So I'm asking the question for nearly 5 years now. Very soon the mandate will be over.
Have you people really helped the head of state
to solve the
problem?
I'm talking about myself. I don't want to answer for the rest. I consider that I have not been able. It's true that during the first 2 years, I did all the crisscrossing for the Northwest, Southwest, preaching peace and justice and all of that. But after that, the text appointing that structure talks of promotion of bilingualism and multiculturalism.
Do we really have a problem of bilingualism and multiculturalism
living together? Yeah, but you see, for me, we cannot promote all of those values, which are very important, in the midst of chaos, a conflict. For me, my Nico Halley would prefer that we go and bring peace, let normalcy return, and then we can, because it's a national commission, which belongs, let me tell you, Kingsley, this commission belongs to Cameroonians. It does not belong to the 15 members. And so we are answerable to Cameroonians, and then answerable to the person who appointed us, and also answerable to our consciences and to God, the God Almighty. So when you ask me a question whether we have succeeded, or you have the answer. I don't want to say that we have failed, but you have the answer. Because I'm not talking for others, I'm talking for Nico Halley. I would think that I have not lived up to expectation. I must be honest, because the environment, the platform for me to perform is not there.
Well, I watched you in Bamenda in one of the videos. You were so bitter.
Yes,
when you went to Bamenda.
Because for me, I'm saying my heart bleeds. Those soldiers, those policemen, those gendarmes, the many civilians that are perishing and now added to our many children, they don't deserve to die. So you can imagine that my heart is permanently, I would say unstoppably bleeding, because we have not yet arrested the situation. So what you heard in Bamenda was merely the tip of the iceberg. It was just one tiny thing that I said there. I think that Cameroonians were expecting much from Nico Halley. In fact, when we appointed, everybody who called me said, you are in that commission, we know your track record in peace building, mediation, arbitration, and reconciling people. You bring that, that experience, that baggage of knowledge, and you help. But I have not had the environment, the platform, to be able to.
And when you were talking, I was listening to you with some keen attention. Yes. You were not part of the major national dialogue, but surprisingly, you were appointed to head a commission that was born out of the major national dialogue or whatever, to solve a problem that is coming from the two English-speaking regions. Why would somebody of your caliber not take part in the major national dialogue?
I've always said, and I'll continue to say, the Anglophone is the first and the worst enemy of an Anglophone. I've said that since many years, and I continue to say, because the Prime Minister sent my invitation, and this was confirmed by the director of cabinet to the commission. Of course, the minister, one of the ministers who was very performant and active there, also confirmed that, because everybody was saying that I had boycotted the major national dialogue. I said I did not receive the invitation, but my invitations were shipped to the commission.
So
let me tell you,
someone
now,
deliberately wanted
of the 6 Anglophones who were appointed into that commission, I am the only one whose invitation did not come or was not seen. So you should understand what must have happened. What must have happened? And people said, and I think that I re-echo what most people say, they said that if one person only had to be invited to that major national dialogue, it was Nico Halley, because of my track record in peace crusading over the years and what I've invested in peace, in harmony in this nation and fight against corruption. I was pushed aside. I was deprived of that opportunity to come and give my own. Perhaps people already heard me talk and they decided to exclude me because they feared that I would come there and raise the issues which I had raised to them. I don't know. But I think Cardinal Toomey lamented when he led the caravan to go and explain the content of the special institutes in the Northwest. And Nico Halley, he called me from the Northwest. Where are you? I hope you have arrived. I told him that, Your Eminence, I am not in Bamenda. He said, why? But I'm waiting for you here. And I said, I can't come because I was not part of the major national dialogue. He said, you were not invited? Then who was invited? Nico Ntumfo? You were not invited? I said, I was not invited. He was shocked. Just like many Cameroonians thought that I had, boycotted. How would I boycott something that was organized for peace to return, normalcy to return to both Northwest and Southwest in particular, and this nation in general? So you now get it. This everybody knows. So you understand, was it the Francophones who kept my invitation? No. Was it the Francophones who deprived me of coming? No, it was the Anglophones. So this is the truth. And when this bitter, that people, they don't want the truth. Without the truth, we can't solve this problem. Let me tell you, unless we start telling the truth, we cannot solve this problem.
So where do we really go from here?
Yeah, it's the only way is bringing on board those core moral values and good governance. Good governance takes care of all the other facets.
And recently, you've questioned the suspicious silence of the EU, AU, and the UN over the rising atrocities in
the United Nations Security Council, and of course the European Union, just like the African Union. These are world structures, world organs. They are like gendarmes of the world. When they identify a conflictual situation, they should address it. Otherwise, they have no relevance.
But these very people would tell you that the problem we have in Cameroon is an internal problem. It's a small quarrel, which does not demand.
What is that? If you read the terms of reference of the UN Security Council, you read about European Union and the African Union. You would know that they have a major role to play if and when there is a crisis anywhere. Now, it depends on the level, the degree of the conflict. But this, when it started, they ranted. They made a few, sporadic statements and ended somewhere.
I've often questioned how binding are the resolutions.
So what good faith was contained in all of those declarations or all those statements they made. Because if up till and including now, they have not done anything concrete, then I will think that their relevance is questionable. And that's why I've recommended that we Cameroonians are capable. You can have shoe and you know where it pinches. You have a problem in your house, call your wife into the bedroom and you solve it. It's better than bringing a third party. That third party will never, especially these guys who come here, with hidden agendas and looking at the resources that we have in Africa, in general, and Cameroon in particular. When they come, they put 10 billion, they take 100 billion. When they come, they tell you they're coming to solve a problem. Don't be surprised. They aggravate the problems just to sell their arms. But all these arms that we are using to kill ourselves, they come from where? Do you know where they come from? They are not manufactured here.
They are not manufactured here. And
yeah.
We allow the arms to come.
Yeah, we allow the arms to come to kill us.
We can stop the proliferation.
I have said, I've been saying since many years, that if I had the opportunity to destroy all the arms in the world, I would do that, because it is these arms taking our lives. If these arms are not there, we will not die. But in fact, the most important thing is installing what we call love. But from love, you have justice. Where there is justice, people are harmonious. There is peace. Take away justice, man. The peace that we are just ranting, we are just going around.
So how do you ensure justice is done? It's
easy. Now, you see a system where from the homes, from your home, from the home training to children, prayers in the morning, meditation, reading the Bible. And then as you move up, you start reading in primary school, secondary school, kindergarten, there should be religious knowledge, there should be moral education. And I even frown at this, that they talk of 4 ordinary levels without religious knowledge, 2 A levels without religious knowledge to get admissions into either high school or university. You are saying that those certificates without God.
Yeah, very
and so once they come out of, they are churned out of, you hear this man he's a doctor, he's a professor, he has been teaching, but on teaching, because without that platform of cultural values, your education is 0, because you cannot bear. It is only those core moral values that can give you the clout to be able to teach you. When I'm called, I'm invited all over at the university center to give talks, I sometimes give lectures here and there, but I never give lectures without those core moral values. Integrity is not what you can buy with money. You can have all the money. You have no integrity, you have nothing. You get what I'm saying? So that is my position. So that is how we can get out of this quagmire. This situation that is so irksome, that is so, to be very frustrating, we can get out of it if we are determined to invite God into our lives. Because the fear of the Lord is what? The beginning of wisdom. Without wisdom, you cannot do anything. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Once you have sought the kingdom of heaven, I think that's Matthew 6:33.
Every other thing will be added.
All other things will come. But we are seeking the kingdom of appointment, promotion, post, money, and all of that.
Thank you, Tumfo Barrister Nsungkikang Alain. Thank you so much for accepting to be part of this edition of the agenda. I didn't know the time. We've already exhausted our time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, Kingsley, for coming to my modest hideout. Pray the Lord should continue to guide you people, the media, all the media in Cameroon. They should try to crusade peace. They should come on board, join me and a few others. Let us go in for peace, but not peace in the air, peace that is attached to justice.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
La Côte d'Ivoire, avec ses rythmes endiablés, a toujours su faire